Is anybody else out there dealing with these super bright can lights? I mean, they great until you really want to relax. And that's what I'm dealing with here in the living room. The lights are either 100% on, bright, or completely off. There's no in between. So that is what I'm trying to get to today by switching out this regular light switch to a universal dimmer switch. And it's a pretty straightforward installation. So I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. So let's jump into it. But before we get started, I need to say that I am no certified electrician by any means. I'm related to one, my brother's one, and my nephew is one, but I am not. So I need to get that out of there. And first thing first is you want to locate your breaker box. This is what is considered a breaker box. And this here is a diagram of the circuits that each of these breakers control. So the one that I'm looking for is this light in the living room. It's either, I believe it should be the main. And we are correct. So now that we got the light off, let's take our way back over here to the light switch and make sure you got something to be able to test to make sure that your power is off. Next, you want to unscrew the screws to remove this wall plate so that you can expose your light switches. All right, now that we got that out the way, I will keep the screws with the faceplate. So this here is a fault alert, like we'll let you know if the circuit is hot or not. And I'll show you this later on when it actually is powered on so you can see that it does work. So once you figured out these are not hot anymore, you can come in with your screwdriver or your flathead and then to remove these screws. All right, so now we got that out the way, I can pull this out of here. And we are greeted with 2 black wires and a bare copper. Let's loosen these up and get these wires off. And you do want to be aware of which one is on the top and which one is on the bottom. And I should explain these wires. You have to move them around the screw to actually loosen them. And that way it'll just pop out like so. So the yellow one, so I do see that this black wire got the yellow on it, and this one is just completely black. So that should help with keeping them separate. And this here is a universal light dimmer that we will be installing today, the Eaton DLU0P-2. So let me open this up, see what it look like. And once you get it open, you are greeted with a Tillich green screw at the top, 2 golds and 1 black. All right, the only thing I could find was my pliers. I couldn't find my actual wire strippers or wire whatever. The actual type of pliers you need for this type of job. The only thing I'm gonna use these for is just to straighten out the ends of them. The reason for straightening these out is because this switch is different than this one right here, where you had to actually wrap the wire around this screw, but this one you can actually insert it through the back and then you just tighten the screw down and it'll pretty much still do the same exact thing. But for the ground, I should have kept it rounded so that I could just wrap it around the screw, but I'm gonna just have to take my pliers and just bend it, then wrap it around this screw, because this one, it don't have a little hole where you can actually just insert it through there, then tighten it down. So this will need to actually be connected to the screw. Bend it around itself like so. And with the orientation of this, it's best to leave the copper last because it got to go on top. Top black wire that we had originally, it should go on the top gold wire. The bottom black wire that we got should go down here with this bottom black screw. So let's get it installed. Then when it's tightened down, that's not coming out. So we just do the same thing for this bottom black screw, which is also known as your common. Then you just insert it in so, and I heard a click. So I'm guessing that's what you want to hear. All right, shoot, let me open this door, because it's getting hot. So lastly, we're gonna take our ground wire and actually connect it up here to this bluish teal screw. Okay, so now it's time for the moment of truth. And before I actually push everything in here and get it all buttoned up, I actually want to turn it on to see if it actually does work. So let's actually do that. It's on the off setting. So let's turn this breaker back on, see what we got. Okay, so the power is on. So we do know that this worked and that we didn't get electrocuted. But now let's turn this on. All right, I did notice a delay. It usually don't have that little delay, but let's see if the dimmer works. The dimmer works, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet. All right, so now we got the light dimmer actually installed and working. Let me get this back. Let's get my wall plate back up because I have this type of wall plate because I got 2 of the dimmers. I'm gonna do one in here and then one in the kitchen. So I could have sworn I had one that didn't have a dimmer switch on it, but I cannot find it right now. And I was, for sake of this video, time-wise, I was just trying to hurry up and get it done. So we got the dimmer installed. I think I let some mosquitoes in. But either way, that's the simple installation of switching out your dimmer switch. Hopefully y'all can see that it's really not that bad. And you see the tools that I had was pliers, something to let you know that your power is off. And lastly was a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes you might need a Phillips. I had to get a flathead. So these were the only 3 tools that we needed to get this job done. Pretty simple installation. So do not be getting beat up by these can lights or these bright overhead lights whenever you can go to Lowe's and probably fix it for probably like $15 to $20 by yourself. But I'll let some mosquitoes in here, so let me get these mosquitoes gone. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right, so I just pulled up here at Lowe's on the e-bike and they are closed. It's 8:09 right now. So on a Sunday. All right, on this one it's different than this one. So this one, it got this little plate beside where they got these 2 little circle divots where you can insert your wire behind it back here. Then take your screwdriver and then tighten it down. Move that out of my way. Plate on, top. Line up, this got top as well, so. And that is that, look at that, nice and sleek. Oh, we have light. You see over here, hit that. That's the outdoor one. She works. And she works.